Hey everybody, this is Troy Engle from Unplugged Demos in Troy Engle and Southern Skies, coming at you today from the world headquarters here of Unplugged Demos. Hope you're doing well and staying safe at this time. We're coming to you from sunny downtown Glen Rock, Pennsylvania. I hope you're out writing lots of songs right now. We've got a lot of downtime, so it's the perfect time to write songs. And for every perfect song, you also need a great demo. So our buddy, Mr. Rick Lang, has asked that I do a little video maybe talking about the benefits of a good song demo and what that can do for your song. So, to me, when you write a song, of course, it bears without stating that you need to have a great song. So, start with a great song, right? So, once you have your great song written, we want to put it in the best light that we can, because what's our goal as a songwriter? Our goal is to get a cut, right? To get an artist or a band to record our songs. So, we really are marketing our song to those artists or to those acts or to those producers. Those are sort of our three people that we're going to pitch to, as either an artist or a producer or a band. So we want our song, I'm a songwriter as well, so I want my songs to be presented in the best light so I can get a cut. So all those three different people that we're pitching to, some of those may be part of a band, an artist may be part of a band, or a producer may be part of a band as well, but all those people that we're trying to pitch to might be looking for different things. So let's talk about what makes up a great or a good song demo. I think the number one thing is your demo on target for your pitch? So you think about that artist or that producer or that band. You have to think sort of from their perspective, what are they looking for? A lot of times an artist is looking for, if they're just a singer or a singer and guitar player, they're looking for something they can sing, something they can hang their hat on, A producer may be looking for something that they can mold. So they want it maybe, I've heard other people say that, some producers just like guitar vocals because they can imagine how that song's going to be, and maybe without being skewed by a more highly produced demo. Some bands, on the other hand, Tom T. Hall would always tell me, most bands, the guy in the band, the mandolin player, wants to hear, hey, what can I do in this song? As a banjo player, what can I do with this song? And if you have a full band demo, that makes that a lot easier. And some people, even though they may be great musicians, they really can't come up with cool parts. And if they hear something that's already got a cool part to it, that's going to perk their ear up. So, of course, in the band setting, the more people who have their ears perked up, the more chance you have of getting a cut. So, all things to keep in mind when you're doing your demo. Should you do a guitar vocal? Should you do a full band thing? Some of my demo clients like me, especially in the bluegrass world, like me to do it like a mandolin and guitar demo. And sometimes that's the perfect pitch, because I know when Daly and Vincent first came out, there were several songwriters that I did demos for, and they were looking for, Daly and Vincent did a lot of those, guitar, mandolin, sort of Skaggs and Rice kind of stuff. So I would do some demos with just guitar and mandolin and vocals. So making that demo suit your pitch, you have to market that to who you're trying to get a cut with. So something we want to talk about is, think about your competition. So as a marketer, basically we're marketing our songs to these artists. So you need to think in a marketing standpoint. It's sort of putting on a different hat from songwriting. But as far as your demo, you need to think, what's your competition? I lived in Nashville and worked in Nashville for 12 years, and the demo scene down there is intense. I mean, as far as the country songwriter world, those demos that they cut very quickly, in a lot of times can end up as the actual master that they use on an album. So they pitch a song to an artist with that demo, and the artist goes, man, that demo is so good, I'm just going to get a version of it without vocals, and I'll put my own vocal on it. So that's the level of demos there in Nashville. And so I think we don't always have to be, album level with our demos in the bluegrass world, but you want to have a good quality, and that's really something that's important. And I think part of the equation too is also being unique in your demos, making them stand out, because that's all part of marketing. The more different your song sounds than somebody else's song, if because a lot of these artists, they'll tell you they listen to hundreds of songs when they're doing an album. So you want to stand out from that. So the best demo you can put forward is going to give you a better chance of getting a cut with that artist. So there's also a point where you can go too far. I think sometimes if your demo is so good, some artists go, "Wow, I'll never be able to sing that like so and so." So that's never the case when I do demos, because they can always do better than my vocals or my playing. But so there's different ways we can do that. You can also do your own DIY demos, or you can have a service like mine do it, or maybe a band or somebody that's a good musician that can do your demo for you, and you can also do that as long as it's quality. Another important thing, I think, is having clear lyrics. No matter whether you're doing a DIY demo or whether you're getting something done somewhere, you have to make sure, number one, in the mix, can you hear the vocals? Is the enunciation good? Because a lot of times you may send a lyric sheet, but the artist or the producer or whoever is may not even look at that lyric sheet. So you may look like poetry on paper, but if people can't hear your lyrics in your demo, that's going to put a damper and make your chances not as good of getting a cut. So make sure your vocals are clear. The second part of that vocal thing is making sure your vocals are good. You don't have to be the best singer in the world if you're doing just your own guitar vocal, but it needs to be on pitch and needs to be pleasant, I would say. And you have to be realistic. I think if you don't think you're a good singer, hire someone else to do it. I think that's the best thing. Even though it may cost you a few dollars, I know the budgets are very hard in the bluegrass and Americana and acoustic world. You don't have $1,000 a song to do a demo, even though you don't need to spend that kind of money for a full band demo or a professional singer. But sometimes if you're marketing, you do have to spend a few dollars. You have to come off, so if you're a great guitar player, you can do the guitar track and send it to your buddy who's a great singer, and maybe you can trade off for something. But I think it's important to have a good singer that sings in tune. They don't have to be the best in the world. That's my thing I always worried about. I thought about hiring different people to sing demos at one point, and female vocalists, and one of them was female vocalist of the year at one time. And so I thought, well, if they do the demo that well, I'm afraid that they may think that that's their song. So you can go both directions, but make sure you're in tune and make sure they can understand what you're saying. The next thing that makes for a good demo for me is a good mix and good mastering. Once again, you're competing. So, and I've been in that band situation where it's throw in one CD after the next, and if your song is really low and just mixed real quiet, people are not going to listen as much. You don't want to blow anybody's ears back, but you want to make sure it's mixed at a good level and that all the instruments are good, that it's a professional quality. I think there's a level of, there's pro quality versus album quality versus whatever, but you want to at least have a professional quality. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be an Alison Krauss and Union Station record, but you want to have something that sounds good, that's appealing, because you have to draw that listener in. So even if it's just you with a guitar and vocal, you have to draw that person in. And if it's low quality or a bad quality or a bad mix, bad recording quality, they're not going to do it. Can you get away with iPhone, or whatever your phone recordings? Yeah, you can. I mean, I've heard guys do it, and there's great songwriters that do it. You just have to be able to pull that off, and you have to, like, once again, be honest with yourself and say, yeah, that's going to be good or that's not going to be good. You're marketing, so put it in its best light. Put your song at, songs are our babies, and you want to dress your baby as nicely as you can. You don't want to get your baby taken, but you want your song baby to be taken. So there you go. Once again, DIY versus paid. Of course, I have a paid service, so I'm going to say, yeah, I think it's a good idea, but lots of songwriters get songs cut by their own DIY demos. Just make sure it's a good quality. I think that's the main thing. Just keep in mind, you're putting your best foot forward. You want to get that song cut. You may have to invest a few dollars in that, from time to time. And that's okay. Just like bands have to take out ads on Facebook, or they have to hire a publicist from time to time. You have to do it. And I know there's not a lot of money at stake, like the country world, as if you had a big hit or a big pop hit, royalty wise. But none of that matters if you can't get a cut. So you might have a great song, but if you don't put any money into it, it's not going to do you any good either way. So I would say, if you have to invest a few dollars in it, to me, it will come out in the wash at some point. Hopefully you'll get, not all of your songs are going to get cut, but maybe you'll get a couple cuts, and maybe you'll get a hit, and that'll pay for all those demos that you had done or had a friend do or whatever. So I want to thank you for tuning in today. I hope answered a few questions or gave you some good ideas as far as having a good song demo and what it takes to get that pitch to an artist. So I wish you best of luck on all your writing, and take care.